Welcome to Karma's Harvest. What if the fountain of youth you sold to the world was actually a slow-acting poison and the first person it claimed was you? Sterling Blackwood didn't just build resorts, he built monuments to his own greed, buried under layers of luxury and lies. Have you ever wondered if the earth itself can feel the weight of our betrayals? For the thousands who flocked to his emerald springs, the water was a miracle, but for Sterling, it was a ticking clock that was about to strike midnight. Sterling was a man who saw gold where others saw filth. When he discovered an abandoned chemical plant, leaking iridescent heavy metal-laden runoff into an underground aquifer, he didn't call the authorities. He called his architects. Within a year, the site was transformed into the world's most exclusive spa. He marketed the tinted, foul-smelling water as deep earth volcanic minerals, charging $300 just to soak in a pool of industrial waste. He knew the water was toxic, but he also knew that money could silence any inspector and bury any medical report. The empathy of the town was tested when a local woman brought her young son, who suffered from severe eczema, to the springs. She had spent her last savings hoping for a cure. Instead, the boy left with chemical burns that Sterling's lawyers dismissed as a natural detoxification reaction. Sterling watched them cry from his air-conditioned office, sipping expensive scotch, and felt nothing but the thrill of a rising profit margin. He believed he was the apex, predator of the real estate world, untouchable and supreme. To celebrate the opening of his 10th resort, Sterling decided to do something he had never done before. He took a private, long-duration soak in the master suite, pool the point where the concentration of the untreated runoff was at its highest. He wanted to feel like the king of the empire he had built on poison. He fell asleep in the warm, shimmering water, basking in the silence of his success. But when Sterling woke up 6 hours later, the silence was replaced by a screaming agony in his nerve endings. His skin felt tight, like it was shrinking 2 sizes too small. He tried to stand up, but his legs felt heavy, encased in something hard and brittle. When he looked down through the steam, he didn't see the smooth, tanned skin of a millionaire. He saw a shimmering, iridescent pattern of overlapping plates. The toxic heavy metals, combined with a rare synthetic polymer from the old factory, had reacted with his biology in a way that defied medical science. His skin was calcifying into jagged fish-like scales. Panic surged through him as he tried to claw at his chest, only to find that his fingernails had thickened into dull, claw-like points. Every second he spent out of the water, the air felt like sandpaper on raw meat. His skin began to crack and bleed the moment it touched the oxygen, forcing him to slide back into the toxic pool just to find relief from the burning. He called for his assistants, but when they saw him, they didn't see their boss. They saw a monster, a creature of the deep that smelled of sulfur and chemicals. The very miracle water he had lied about was now the only thing keeping him from a death of unimaginable pain. He was trapped in a luxury prison of his own making, unable to leave the water that was slowly, cell by cell, turning him into something no longer human. But the harvest isn't finished with Sterling Blackwood just yet. As the news of the toxic leak begins to break, and the victims start to gather at the gates, who will be the one to pull the plug on his life-sustaining pool? You won't believe the final request Sterling makes when the water begins to drain. The debt is about to be collected in full. Make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are on, because part 2 of The Scaled King is coming soon. The truth is rising to the surface, and it's more terrifying than anyone imagined.